Welcome to the Baseballtown Charities Phillies Winter Tour 2021, presented by Leibensberger Funeral Homes.
Since its inception in 2002, Baseballtown at Charities has been investing in the future of baseball, raising several $1 million to build facilities and fund programs in and around Reading. It started with the construction of Gordon Hudak Stadium at Lowers Park, a baseball palace for inner-city boys and girls of the Baseballtown Junior RBI League. It continued with the renovation of Reading's historic Bear Park, and then expanded beyond the city limits to build the Savage 61 Dream Field, a ballpark specially designed for those with physical and cognitive challenges. In addition to financially supporting the leagues that utilize these facilities, Baseballtown at Charities recently started the Rip It for Life program, which provides free lessons, batting cage time, and invaluable guidance about life to players who lack the financial ability to pursue playing at a higher level. We invite you to celebrate our national pastime while preserving its future by supporting Baseballtown at Charities. Please visit baseballtown.org to donate today.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Messina and welcome to the Baseballtown Charities Phillies Winter Tour. Today I have with me Zach Eflin. How are you doing today, Zach?
Doing good, thank you. Just enjoying life down here, kind of just gearing up for spring training. So doing well, thank you.
Thanks so much for joining us today, and I believe congratulations are in order. You just got married. How was that?
I did. It was amazing. We ended up having to cancel our original plans, and we ended up getting married next door at our neighbor's property. So it was really cool to have, all my family and Lauren's family there, and just to have like a small ceremony. So it was really special with a lot of good people.
That sounds like it'll be a good memory for you guys to have.
Absolutely.
And so now you're in Florida getting ready for spring training?
Yep. I'm currently down in Jupiter, Florida, training at a facility and counting down the days till we report to Clearwater.
Are you looking forward to this season? Hopefully we'll be able to get a complete one in.
Absolutely. Last year just playing 60 games was a task for everybody, and it really felt like, almost there wasn't a season at all. So it'll be nice to hopefully get things back on track and to have some sort of consistency in a crazy world right now. But we're looking forward to getting all the boys back together and spending a bunch of time together. So we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, that does sound great. I'm sure last year was extremely different. And probably one of the biggest changes for you was that in the past in the National League, you had to come up to the plate whenever you were in the lineup. And in this past season, you didn't have that part of your job. What was that like for you?
To be completely honest, I love hitting. I love being able to have a factor into the game in that, from that perspective. But then again, it gave a lot of other people opportunities to, for jobs in the DH in the National League. That creates a lot more jobs for guys. But I do miss 5 o'clock hitting BP and stuff. But so we'll kind of see how it goes in the future. And I know they're talking about changing the rule, but we'll be prepared for anything. But I miss hitting, I'll tell you that.
That's a great perspective for you to have. And I know back in 2018, you hit your first professional homer. Do you remember that moment?
I remember the exact moment. I remember everything about it.
Yep. What did it feel like seeing it go over the wall? Did you know it was going to happen?
It was kind of like pure shock at first. I knew that Kevin Pillar was playing center field, and he really can just catch anything around him. So I knew once the ball was in the air towards center field that, he had a chance of catching it regardless of where it went. But what made it really cool was I had a bunch of my best friends in town for that game, for that start from back home. So I think there must've been 10 or 12 guys there, and they were all in the stands, and they actually they took their phones out to videotape me while I was hitting, and I ended up hitting a home run. So I got to talk a bunch of crap to them. So it was pretty fun.
That's pretty sweet. Like, wow, that's amazing that happened to you like that too.
Good timing.
Yeah, great timing. Mm-hmm. So most of the time though, you spend on the mound and prepping for all of your pitching days. You've thrown a couple complete games in the past. What does it take to be able to get to that, level, to be able to get to that gear in the game?
Yeah, I think it takes a lot of fearlessness, being able to believe in yourself that, on your start day that you're the only you're the only guy that wants to touch the baseball, I should say. So I kind of take that mentality into every outing where I don't like giving up the baseball at any given time. And there's no better feeling than starting a game and finishing a game. So I take a lot of pride in being able to throw a lot of innings and be able to stay in the game as long as I can. And I know that the longer I stay in the game, the more we can save our bullpen arms for future games. So that's a huge thing for me. And I've always been a big strike thrower and early contact. So to filter that into the game as well really helps me as a pitcher. But that's really the goal every time, is to go out and try and throw 9 innings and put up a winning line.
It sounds like you really think a lot about your teammates when you're out there. Who would you say is your best friend on the team?
Oh, that's a really tough question. We have a great group of guys. I'd have to say probably Nola is probably the closest best friend I have on the team. He was actually in my wedding this off season. So that was really cool. But I'm so close with so many guys on the team that I feel like even back home, I have a group of guys that I have like 12 best friends, and they were all on our high school baseball team. So it's really hard to pick and choose guys, but I'm really close with most of them.
That sounds you guys have a good camaraderie, and you've been with a lot of these guys for a long time coming up through the organization. Back when you were in Reading, you started out with over 14 scoreless innings. Do you remember a lot about your start there and your time in Baseballtown?
I don't really remember the start with 14 innings scoreless. I don't remember that, but I remember so many great memories of Reading. And that was actually the first stop that I was introduced to when I first got traded over to the Phillies organization. So it really was a huge treat to be able to experience Baseballtown and the passion of Philly fans. You really can't get that anywhere else in the minor leagues. And it truly was special to be able to go through that stop. Yeah,
that's definitely true about this park and the fans that are here. And there's so many things that the organization does on the field during the game. I think Nola said it was like a carnival. So when you're at the games and it's maybe not your day that you're pitching, are you like noticing all of the entertainment that's going on in the field? I know like a lot of the guys are like get really into that. Is that something that you were into?
100%. I loved watching Briscoe Disco up in the stands, and we would join in with him all the time. We'd watch the crazy hot dog vendor just shooting hot dogs at everybody. Really just everything about that minor league facility and fan base and everybody that works there, they just do such a tremendous job of engaging the fans with the players, and just all around top to bottom, it's just a special place to play.
Thank you. Yeah, they really appreciated everything you've done for the organization. And I know you were definitely a fan favorite when you were here. When a kid approaches you for an autograph, what is that kind of something that means to you?
It's special to me, because I used to go up to a lot of UCF baseball games when I was a kid. I lived kind of right down the road from UCF, and I'd always ask for autographs. And a bunch of the guys didn't like signing autographs. And I always told myself that if I were to ever play, college or professionally, like I wanted to be able to give that kid an autograph. I wanted him to feel special in that moment. So it was really cool to me. And especially in Reading, so many kids go to the games and they're just diehard baseball fans. So that 5 or 10 second interaction could mean the world to somebody. So it's really special and important to me and a lot of guys on the team that we have in Philly to, get out and sign autographs and talk to fans and, really, really make them understand that we're human beings too.
That's really great to hear. Do you feel like it's similar in Philadelphia? Like, do you feel like the fan base is fun to play in front of there?
Absolutely. I mean, don't get me wrong, they hold us accountable, but they're fantastic. I'd much rather hear backlash and hear support than just, support the whole time. Cause, I'm always a guy that, sometimes I need to be talked down to get better and to, prepare myself better for my next outing and stuff. So it really is such a unique place. And you hear it in Reading too, like, going up through the minor leagues in the Phillies organization, they prepare you for, your final stop in Philly. So it's really special to be able to interact with the fans, and all of them are so super nice to your face. And it's an awesome place.
That's great to hear. We look forward to having fans back at First Energy Stadium and back at Citizens Bank Park, hopefully this summer. You spent a lot of time now in Pennsylvania. What are some of your favorite places in Philadelphia or in the surrounding area?
That's great. Well, I'll begin by in Reading. My favorite stop in Reading was Mission Barbecue. And that really, kind of fueled my passion for barbecue food. And it's actually funny because that next off season that I played in Reading, they ended up building a Mission Barbecue kind of right down the street from my house. And
Wow.
I pretty much lived there the whole off season. So Mission Barbecue, shout out, they're amazing. But really, I like going all over. There's not really a particular spot that I can name that I haven't, really liked at all. I've spent a lot of time in the city of Philadelphia, and I've met a bunch of different restaurants and apartments down there with, amazing people everywhere. I currently am over in Jersey now, and there's beautiful little towns out there and amazing mom and pop, restaurants. So there's really not any place in particular. I will say that I think my favorite breakfast spot in Philly or the New Jersey area is Cubby Hole, and it's over in Morristown. Shout out to all my friends over there. They're amazing. But yeah, there's nothing really in particular other than like Cubby Hole and Mission Barbecue from AA. Those are my spots.
Yeah, there's a lot of really unique places around here. But one of the more, stereotypical Pennsylvania, Philadelphia locations is Wawa. Are you a frequenter there?
I'm not a frequenter. I enjoy their coffee. They actually just started coming down, creeping their way into Florida here a couple years ago. So if I'm going golfing one day or something, I love their breakfast sandwiches. They're amazing. And I like their coffee a lot. So I'm not a frequent visitor of Wawa, but if I pass them, it's great. And I have a truck too, so they're normally the only ones around us that has diesel. So I guess I do go there pretty often.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
When you go out to places in or around the city or even back in your hometown, do you get recognized a lot? Do people stop you, or kind of now I guess you could pull up the mask and go a little more incognito?
Yeah. A couple times in Jersey, in the Philly area, I'll get recognized, but not too much when I'm home. Our hometown's really small, so everybody knows each other. So I think there's not really any sort of recognition there because everybody already knows me and I know them. It's such a small, great town. So nothing too crazy.
That I'm sure that's kind of difficult for you sometimes, but also probably nice too to see the fans like supporting you. And
absolutely, that's all you can ask for. Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it. And thanks so much to all of our fans for tuning into the Baseballtown Charities Phillies Winter Tour. We really appreciate having you on here, Zach, and we look forward to watching you play this summer.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure.
Thank you. Good luck this season.
Thank you. We'll see you guys later.
Bye.
After losing a loved one, families often wonder what next. You'll find the answer at Leibensberger Funeral Homes.
Everyone who walks through our doors is treated with respect and compassion.
We take the time to learn about your loved one and celebrate their life with a service that reflects who they really were.
Offering 2 locations, ample parking, and a spacious chapel and vestibule. Let our family help your family find peace at Leibensberger Funeral Homes.
Thank you for watching the Baseballtown Charities Phillies Winter Tour, presented by Leibensberger Funeral Homes. Special thanks also to Herbine & Company, GT Church, Savage